Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Volkswagen project. So we are now going to start stripping the engine bay, taking stuff out like the air box, the battery box, and other stuff. So we're pretty much ready to pull this engine. So we're going to start here with an remove, what is this? I believe the mass airflow sensor. And its clip is a little mangled. Let me grab something to press that with. Where's the screwdriver? Here's one. Maybe a smaller screwdriver. Smaller screwdriver. So since last time we pulled the hood, make it easier to get in here to pull the engine, as well as making it easier to do the body work in here. Come on. I can't get you to release. I'm gonna have to go get a set of safety torques bits.
Pulling up, shut it down when I'm pulling up. Come around when I'm pulling up. In my town and I'm pulling up. Ready for anything, anyone. Know that I get it done. In the bands, I be pulling up. Tell your friends, cause I'm pulling up. Ready or not, I be pulling up. Remember they said I'm not good enough. I took all the energy, turned it to greatness. Now look at my life, man, it's looking amazing. I'm ready for anything, anyone. I've been so ready for everything I become. When I was stuck, I had no other option.
Okay guys, it's hot today, so we are hopefully going to be taking a swim break from working on the Volkswagen, as long as we can find an open lake. Yes, that was a long swim break. A lot's happened since then. Here's the car now. I've gotten the front end pretty much torn apart, and besides motor mounts and some stuff on the back, this engine is just about ready to get pulled out of this car. And then when the engine comes out of this car, not 100% sure what we're doing. We're not taking the engine out of mildew anymore. We're keeping mildew as a car. We bought this engine, which I don't think you guys have seen at all. This is another ALH, but these glow plugs were broken off inside of it, and when we tried to get them out, we messed up some threads. So we can take this to a shop and get this done. So then we also turned around and bought a whole nother car, which we haven't even seen yet. It has a good running engine. So I think what's going to happen is, good running engine goes in the silver wagon. This motor, the head comes off of this to go into the shop. This head goes on mildew to give us a running driving car. And then we part out the other car. So that is what's going on with these Volkswagens. I'm sorry I didn't film tearing this car apart. There's a lot been going on recently. Basically, have this whole front end torn apart. The other side, we haven't quite finished yet, but we have the strut and everything out. We just have to finish unbolting the axle, then we'll pull it, put the strut and hub back on so we can put it back on its tires and roll it around, move it. But yeah, I think this is where this video is now going to end. Next time you see these, we'll probably be pulling the engine. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Okay guys, back at it with the Volkswagen. There's a lot of stuff going on, waiting on parts for the dirt bike. But to the matter at hand, this is the engine we got to put in the silver Volkswagen, which is just outside those doors. So this engine was out of a standard car, so we have a clutch down there. We also grabbed some the radiator and fans. When we picked up this, guy was parting it out. We picked up this engine, and we're like, great engine, we can throw it right in. But we didn't realize, we noticed that the glow plugs weren't sticking out. So we just noticed that it was missing glow plugs, I guess. We get it home and we're looking at it. We're trying to put glow plugs in from another car so we can pressure wash this engine. And we notice that cylinders uno and dos, 1 and 2, are broken out in there. So we've got this toolkit over here. Most of the tools are actually on the bench over there. Oh, kind of sitting there on top of the tap kit. That drills these out and it's supposed to pull, and we can't get it to work on this one. We're going to try it on this one, and if not, we're going to see if we can get a shop. If we can get a shop to come do it. And then after we get those fixed, then we need to get a timing belt kit, and this engine will be ready to slap in the car. So I guess I'll show you guys the car real quick. It's conditioned. I didn't video any of the work I've done, sorry. But that's all the parts that came off that engine. Okay, so here's the car. Front end is completely torn apart. Fenders are off, bumpers off, everything's torn apart. We're working on getting the axles out, and then we have to put, here, let me go to the other side. So on this side, we have it apart. As you can see, once we pull the axle, we're going to be putting suspension and hub and wheel back on. We're not putting the brakes on. Look at these brake rotors. These things are destroyed. Look at that. You're supposed to have a ridge on your rotors, right? And then I think I mentioned it. This side of the car was lower than normal, or it seemed lower. And this is the shock, or the spring, the strut. There we go. And it is broken in half and stuck on top of itself. So it is very destroyed. Good thing we have a lift we're putting on this. There's the intercooler. We dumped a bit of oil out of it, but it wasn't bad. So yeah, we'll get this car back on its wheels just so we can wheel it around. And hopefully within a couple days, we'll have the motor pulled. Unfortunately, we were out at a lake and it started raining and the car didn't get covered. So these guys, I cleaned them all up. They were bare metal and shiny. They're starting to rust again. We need to sandblast it. Then we will prime it and paint it. And it doesn't have to match the original color because the fender's going over it and we're getting new fenders. So, yeah, this is the Volkswagen thus far. And next time you see this camera, we will be probably working on unsticking the glow plugs. Okay, guys, I'm going to try, the light's on, okay. Gonna try something here. For that injector, or glow plug that we drilled, this one. We've drilled it, but the thread, the tap puller thing, tapping and threading and then pulling isn't seeming to work. So what I'm going to try is, we read somewhere about someone who would drill them out and then fire up the engine and it would shoot them out. And then, of course, the engine would die because it loses compression. And then you can put the new ones in because there's no threads holding it. We've drilled it out past the threads at this point. So basically what I'm going to do is put an injector back in there and tighten it down. And then we'll come on the harmonic balancer pulley down here and just try turning this thing over. And we'll see if that does anything for us. Okay, guys, so that didn't work. It's a couple hours later. I don't know actually what time it is. Me and my dad have been going for a while. This one, drilling, has basically been completely unsuccessful and started taking the threads out of the head because those drill bits over there have an excessive amount of wobble, and then this extension piece that you have to use to be able to reach also has wobble. This one we drilled the center of out and tried using an easy out. One of those guys, actually, I think it's one that's not in that kit right now. Anyway, tried that. This is like not moving at all. So we're soaking it in penetrating oil overnight. And so basically, we got nowhere today. Yeah, nowhere. So I guess this is where we're going to end this episode unless we end up taking this to a shop or something to get them to do it. In that case, I'll see you then.